Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a look here at Mask. I've actually been asked to, cover this one a lot here recently. Apologies for the delay, so thank you so much for your patience. We're just going to take a quick peek and kind of see what's going on here, of course, and just really try to identify some patterns here, patterns of behavior. That's essentially what trading is, identifying previous patterns and seeing if they're going to happen again in the future. So when it comes to Mask here, it's obviously a bit on the overextended side, at least from the surface level, it looks like that, right? But in truth, it has a lot more room to run. So I just want to kind of highlight that, touch on that, if you will. And if you are new to the channel, keep this in mind. I love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn how to become a better trader by watching my videos. But if you want a little bit more, in depth, you can go ahead and reference my website, cryptocash.tech, where I basically teach you everything that I know and how to trade effectively. Okay, so I have a trading academy, community, and signal group. So be sure to check that out in your own time, of course, with a lot of different trading options. And in truth, we're bringing day trading tools, and we also have a really awesome day trading indicator too that I just rolled out with a couple days ago. So check this out. It's actually, Crypto Cash Golden Indicator. CC Golden has instructions on how to use it. I'll show you here in this demo how it works effectively as well. Okay, so just know awesome opportunities there if you want to check that out. Look forward to working with you. Okay, so when it comes to Mask, what we want to look at is a few things. So first things first, let's look at the large time frames and identify. So monthly, obviously this coin hasn't been out tremendous amount of time, right? So I think its ICO date was August 1st. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly confident of that. And you can see here that with Mask, actually, wait, hold on. Let's just double check because I want to ensure that we are on the right page here because I've looked at a handful of different ones before I started this and I don't really see anything that's, they're all a little different, but for the most part, I like to look at the futures here because there's a large amount of futures now at this point, more so than spot. In fact, we have more interest in futures than spot exchanges now. So, anyways, with the monthly here, not much we can disseminate there because there's not a tremendous amount of data to compare. When we look at the weekly, though, this is something that kind of sticks out to me a little bit. We can see some resistance there at 70 on the RSI when the price wicks up like this. Okay, so there was a couple of weeks of bullish behavior, hit 70 on the RSI, tapered off, continued sideways. We can see this resistance shelf here, obviously, where the price action continues sideways. We can also see here as well where the price comes down and bounce off 50 and continue up towards 70. So we are really close to 70 on the RSI. That being said, there's a potential for a pullback soon. So just kind of be mindful of the fact that while this could and should still run, we have this kind of resistance level so far at that point. Now that does change a little bit when you look at the daily. Okay, so when you take a look at the daily, the same time frame that we're looking at here previously as an example, you can see the RSI broke through 70 and stayed above for some time. Okay, now it broke through 70 here as well, stayed above for a little while, and also broke above here, came back down. So generally speaking, we're seeing this rinse and repeat type of behavior where the price breaks above 70 on the RSI and then tapers off and retries again consistently. But as you can tell here, we've got multiple retries here at this level. So this is a new support range, okay? So $4.83 is a close approximate. You could even round up and say $5 even is that resistance slash support level. Okay, so now it's a support because we're above it, right? So that's kind of where that goes. We want to also take a look at Fibonacci retracement here. So we'll take the most recent low at the most recent high. In this case, since the price is persevering above, what you do is you reverse the Fibonacci retracement levels and essentially double check to see where the potential is from here. So after reversing, we can kind of see how many different areas in which we might see resistance moving forward. Okay, so the next resistance level is $7.95, round number $8 even. Okay, so if you see the price getting close to $8, it may be advantageous to take some profit. Again, just based on the simple fact that Fibonacci retracement levels have a tendency of, kind of forecasting where the price might go next. All right. So again, that's kind of where we're at there, but everything here so far is bullish. We have a convergence on the MACD. We also have RSI still having room. Money flow index is high. So we have a lot more volume moving into Mask here in the last couple of weeks than compared to before, of course, which is pretty common. It's normal to see more money flowing in than the RSI, essentially, because of the simple fact that price, there's a higher amount of volume than before. Okay, so this most recent 2 weeks, we can see a tremendous amount of increased volume, even before the RSI gets overextended. And that's a bullish sign. All right, so when it comes to the 4 hour, we want to take a quick look at here is TD sequential, kind of see we're at an 8 right now. So we are a bit on the overextended side, as I mentioned previously, but you got to keep in mind 680 right here at this range. This could be the new support level as well, based on the simple fact that it was a previous rejection point and we're now above it. It's common for the price to kind of consolidate at support and then continue higher. So generally speaking, there's potential for that. Is it a high probability the price is going to stay there? Probably not, because in its history, when it hit 9s on TD sequential, it'll pull back quite significantly. So what's going to stop it from pulling back now? Not a lot, because there's not a tremendous amount of volume at this level yet. So to me, it makes more sense for us to see this magnet type of situation where the price action is magnetized towards this average volume profile. Okay, so we take a look at the volume profile. You can see obviously there's a lot of volume at $6 even. So $6 to me would make the most sense for the price action to pull back to that level. Okay, so again, that's not a significant margin, but it still is. That's almost 10, 11%. So again, if you're going to short, that might potentially be a consideration. Again, a lot of other factors are involved. We got some bullish momentum here, and it's best sometimes not to try to trade into that. Because you can see here in previous past, even though the price consolidated nicely, we hit a few 9s in a row, the price will inevitably pull back. Okay, so with this being the first potential 9, if you will, is it going to pull back that hard? I think so personally, but once again, I've been wrong plenty of times. Trust me, I'm not 100% right all the time. All right, so taking a look at the 1 hour, let's go ahead and summarize here. We've got a nice pretty consolidation here, hit a 9 on TD sequential, up to a 4, down back to a 9, so there is potential for a bouncing point now at this point. So I would recommend waiting a few hours before, see if the price can close above 680 or higher. If it can close above that on the daily today, then hey, there's a decent chance we might stay above. If it closes below though, I'm gonna pay attention right around 670 and kind of see. If the price comes back down to that level and closes below 680 today, then I'm going to definitely be paying attention to possibly consider shorting this coin. Okay, again, just something to think about. Very last thing to summarize with is, of course, our CC golden indicator. So what this does is kind of tells us when you have good confirmation and, of course, the inverse as well. So you can increase the amount of entries, which is nice. So you can kind of just go back down to just say 1, for example, so it doesn't give you too many false positives. But what it does, it basically tells you when you have confirmation, you're on the right side of tracks. So we're seeing, some green here, right? That's an entry target, and the red is essentially a sell target. We have green right now, so for lack of better terms, we might want to wait for another increase before we get in. Okay. So again, there's no guarantees on this. This really just helps you identify overextension periods and kind of different scenarios like that. But generally speaking, the theme is pretty common. You buy in at a green and you sell when it's overextended at a red. Okay. We don't have that overextension right now just yet. So at this point, it's probably best to kind of consider waiting and or potentially shorting based on this being an entry for a short position. All right, so again, different ways to read that, but this indicator is available on our homepage. Once again, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. So check that out in your own time, but generally speaking, I'm leaning more towards a short at this point, just based with all the the overextension factors on the 4 hour, the hourly time frame. But on the same accord, there's no stark, obvious entry level right now. In other words, it makes sense it's going to pull back, but it also has a lot of momentum, so make sure you have that stop loss kind of tight in case it decides it wants to run. So just say hypothetically you got in right now, make sure your stop loss is somewhere in the range of just say $7.10. While that could be a significant loss, the gain is 2x here, right? So I think the target of $6 with the stop loss around 7 or 7.10 would make sense because you're at a 2-to-1 ratio there, and the most recent high here is likely going to hold. Okay. So that's the resistance level, okay? So that's kind of where we're at here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this made sense to you. Looking forward to working with you again. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.